Hey, come walk with me. And here we are on another beautiful Sunday noon. First time it's kind of a bit spring-like, which is good. So we'll see. Winter coat is gone, and it's much nicer already. And today we're starting from a place where I think we started a few episodes ago, and just work our way into the city. Just let's see where we're going. And today I just wanted to very quickly talk about what changes when I record a walk, because this is, I think, episode 5, and after the first few, maybe it's time to reflect a bit on what changes from just taking a walk, or maybe also what changes from taking a photo walk in the city and over to recording a vlog like this one. So I think the first thing I really notice is the sound. So I'm much more sensitive to the way the city sounds, the way maybe also the environment influences everything. Not only because it affects the things that you hear and maybe what is filtered out by the microphone, but also in terms of what I think about, because if I'm purely focused on let's say photography, then sound is obviously not that important, and maybe it's easier for me to just ignore it, or let's say focus on something different. So even as I'm walking right now, I've already noticed, okay, I'm intentionally choosing quieter roads, where, for example, if I'm taking a photo and it's somewhere where, for example, we might have the train, then I wouldn't mind so much, but like in this case, just somewhere where it's a bit quieter is nicer. So the first one is sound. Then the second one, I think, is just generally being much more aware of whether there's people around, whether something looks interesting, or whether a road looks quiet or too crowded. Because obviously, as I'm looking at the camera, I'm not looking at the road. I'm not looking exactly where I'm stepping. So I think it's a bit less intuitive to walk like this, and for that reason I'm choosing much more carefully where I'm walking. So even though I think a few episodes ago I said I just let myself be guided by my feet, it's much more likely that here I'm also looking into, okay, would this be an interesting place to walk? Does this look different from where I've already walked? And also what I've noticed is I'm much more aware, just like right now, when crossing a street, because obviously a part of my attention is drawn to the camera, right? And on a day like this, when it's finally a bit warmer, it's becoming springtime, I already noticed that there's so many more people out than there were in the previous episodes. So some of the previous episodes, it was really freezing cold, and you can see that again from the clothes, from maybe also from the way the sky looks. I'm not 100% sure if you can see that, but there's a big difference, and it's nice to see the seasons change. And this is also kind of like what I wanted to achieve with recording my walks. It's just because if you spend so much time doing something, then it's good to have a record of it. It's kind of similar to when I started. I started with photography, and especially with street photography. That I noticed a change in how much more I remember. The trips that I'm taking. So there were some previous trips where I have barely any recollection of what I've seen or where I've been. Since I started taking photos, there's just so much more recollection that I have. And of course I do have the photos, I can later have a look at them. And I think it's similar with video, kind of like this. So this year I just wanted to have a look at what changes when I start to record these walks. And so there's now two aspects to this. So the first one is what changes in my walk when I record, and then the second one is how does my memory or my recollection of the walk change. And I think for that I don't really have an answer yet, because obviously it just started. It's 5 weeks now, so February. Now it's March. Today is the 1st of March. So we'll see how we go. And as we get into more travel towards the second half of the year, maybe that's also a good opportunity to make some video. The one more thing that I've been thinking about is really the technical aspect of it. So until now, I think in this series I haven't really talked much about gear, and I don't intend to talk a lot about gear, but I love it. I love gear. I think that this is also part of the reason why I enjoy photography and videography, is the technical aspect of it, of course. So this one here, I'm recording on the DJI Osmo Nano and the DJI Mic Mini, which you can see. Obviously you can't see the camera because that's obviously what I'm filming on. But I think for this series, this has been a really good choice, as it's super easy to just carry around. It's on the very light stick. Maybe one of these days I should actually bring my phone, because if you remember, I said so some episodes ago, I don't really like to bring my phone on a walk like this. Number one is because it weighs me down. Number two is because of notifications. But maybe I will do so one time so that I can show you the setup also. And it's been a really good choice of gear, I would say, for this kind of series. So I'll take a bit of care here. It's also getting a bit easier to film these. I'm getting more used to the gear, and again, this very simple setup is super helpful, because it's basically just the very light camera. I think it's 50 grams or something. Then the microphone, which I would say almost disappears. It's like a little accessory that's just living there on the side of my jacket. We'll have to see how that goes in summer, when it becomes much warmer. Then maybe I'll just clip it to my shirt. But overall, I'm very happy with the way that these vlogs, let's call it vlogs of my walks, are going. But for now, maybe my top thoughts on how walking with the camera changes the walk, how also my expectations to a walk change. So the first one, and now we're getting exactly to somewhere where this is actually applicable. The first one is obviously the sound. So now there's a bigger road coming up, and we'll see how that goes. then the second one is how much more I'm aware of which locations I choose or where my feet take me. So it's not as intuitive, but more really looking into where I'm going, and if this is going to improve, for example, the audio situation or the situation of a lot of people being around. And then the third one is just being very, very aware of the gear that I'm carrying, like for example this camera. And as I already mentioned, this is actually a pretty good setup. So this is kind of nice to have this, and I think I'm going to continue with this setup. But with that said, I think for today we'll leave it at that, and I shall see you in the next one.